top-rated defense last season in the league and #1 in rebounding and challenging shooters as well.
Tip-off goes to Milwaukee. Here's Bledsoe. And Capella sends it back. And what a jam!
Are you kidding me?
And the Hawks with possession here, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And guys, there's really a fine line between being aggressive and being out of control. And in that one, they crossed the line.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, they seem to be forcing things out there, trying too hard, pressing. When you do that, the turnovers pile up quickly.
Here's Antetokounmpo after Clint Capella's bucket. Bledsoe dishes to Antetokounmpo. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist.
Just off the charts, incredible athleticism from Antetokounmpo. Fending off contact like a real pro.
Now, here's Collins. He's coming off a 16-point game against Minnesota.
Yeah, but his shot blocking was a factor as well. 3 on the game, just a major presence on the D.
Hawks passing it around. Just 4 to shoot. Young for 3, drains the three-pointer.
And the touch Young has from beyond the arc, he is almost unguardable from there.
Young against Bledsoe. Outside Matthews. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
For real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Now, here is Young. Had a 24-point outing in their last game against Minnesota.
And having to respect Young's deep range defensively. Hard to close off the lane.
Bledsoe against Young to the inside. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Well, Clark, what a year it was for Giannis Antetokounmpo last season. He took everything to the next level from the get-go. He became a top player in the NBA.
And you know what, guys? Early on, you could see it and you could feel it. It was going to be a special year for Giannis because his progression and development, his hunger, his commitment, his work ethic, all of that helped him become the MVP of the league against a pretty competitive field of MVP candidates.
And the second free throw, good.
Well, you know, it's hard to overstate the impact that Giannis has on the floor with his play. I mean, he gives you so much at both ends of the floor, offense and defense, and really draws a lot of attention from the opposing team.
And that one, good. And that's now 7 points for Trae Young.
And this is how you want to start the ball game. 4 for 4 from the field. Seems like they're right on point and can't miss.
Bledsoe kicks to Giannis. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Giannis has got 5 now. The efficiency of Giannis, Clark, that's just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. For years, people were asking, how scary is Giannis going to be? Well, we got our answer pretty much in the form of he's a nightmare.
Offensively, it's been a perfect quarter for him. He hasn't missed a single shot.
Bledsoe against Young. Matthews scanning the floor. Bledsoe for 3, and again Milwaukee with the triple.
You know, I think it's critical that Bledsoe shoots with confidence off the catch. I mean, I like that mentality.
Young drives in.
Well, comparisons to Steph Curry, unfair for Trae Young, and they're quieting. His shooting percentages in year 1 leave plenty of room for growth.
This is his first free throw of the game.
He's a guy you have to game plan for. The way Young scores and passes the ball creates so many problems for the defense.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Lopez. Ante DiVincenzo comes in for Wesley Matthews. And George Hills subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. From outside the arc, the shot misses. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. And Greg, you talk about unfair comparisons for Trae Young. His career will always be measured against that of Luka Doncic after the Hawks traded back from the #3 pick.
And Doncic going on to win Rookie of the Year, an instant star, and Trae Young with plenty of talent. We'll see what he can accomplish.
That's his second foul of the first quarter, and they may want to sit him for a while to avoid #3.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Lopez comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it's Pat Connaughton in for Chris Middleton. Then for the Hawks, Labissiere's checked in for John Collins, and it's Teague in for Young. Lopez, no luck.
Boy, that is awesome defense, guys, against a capable finisher. Well done. I'm sure the coaches love that.
Teague against Hill. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Hill. And last year, a tough one for Jeff Teague. Just couldn't put together his normal level of play.
You know, Teague missed some games with injury, but his shot just wasn't consistent. His passing and playmaking were as strong as ever, but you just couldn't rely on him to score.
He hits the second from the line. A lot of different ways, Clark, to construct a roster. What would be your preference as a general manager? Any direction you might want to go?
Well, obviously, if you have an opportunity to get an outstanding franchise-type point guard or versatile wing player in today's game, I think those are the pieces that you really need to start with.
Because there's so much spacing and so much switching on defense.
Exactly, and I failed to mention a two-way player at that wing spot who can defend multiple positions but also has a pretty strong offensive skill set.
Challenging the bigger defender, cutting him down to size with that one.
Well, the size mismatch is no problem for this fella, guys. I mean, how much do you like seeing that aggressiveness from him?
Ilyasova trying to get open as Lopez. Ilyasova can't hit.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
A different look for Milwaukee. Williams, he's checked in for Ilyasova. And it's Korver in for George Hill. Good on the second free throw.
And I think the potential that Labissiere has is obvious. I mean, it's easy to see. He's an explosive player who's surprisingly quick for his size.
Here's DiVincenzo. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. From the arc. But they recover it. Here's Lopez. Lays it up off the glass.
A guy that doesn't give up on the glass. Lopez, a real force at rebounding the ball.
Now here's Teague. He's coming off a 10-point game against Minnesota. Jones, the pass to Bembry. The Hawks working the ball around. Count it.
With a number of moves and shots to choose from, Hunter is scary. Nice bucket there.
Here's DiVincenzo. Teague covering. Here's Korver for three. Offensive rebound. Pass to Connaughton. From deep three-point range, Trae Young, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for Atlanta. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action. And pronouncing Giannis Antetokounmpo's name correctly has been
The worst I've ever heard was my rookie year.
And the mosquito, definitely not a good comparison for Giannis.
Yeah, more like a condor. But that last name certainly has a lot of people looking for nicknames.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And for the Hawks, guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
Yeah, you know what? Makes it really easy for the coaching staff in that case. No adjustments needed. Just keep on keeping on.
Robin Lopez out there with Marvin Williams. Then there's Kyle Korver. And it's Connaughton in at the shooting guard. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks. The Hawks leading by 4. Pass to the Bembry. Back to Teague. Takes a three. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Teague, any room to get that shot off, and he's going to take it and make it. He's a capable three-point shooter.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, the Hawks said they were going to be patient when they rebuilt their team, and they were going to do it through the draft, and they've stuck to that script. Now, Trae Young is probably the biggest name, but Atlanta's added a lot of great young talent the last 3 years. There's John Collins, Kevin Huerter, and in 2019, the Hawks added 3 more good young players in the draft. DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and Bruno Fernando. Things are looking up in Atlanta.
I would think so, too. On paper, it looks good. We'll see if it materializes. D.A., thank you as always. And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. Their last encounter was in Atlanta.
Painful to watch, guys. You could see their frustrations mounting, unable to get into any kind of a rhythm whatsoever.
Yeah, they had no answer for them. They simply got outplayed and outworked.
Platoon swap here for Milwaukee. And the new power rankings, still only the first month of the season. Here's a chance to compare early returns. Look at New Orleans. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And you know, for the Bucks, they thought they had a great chance to start out on top and stay there. But it's still early, and they still have a lot of firepower on that roster.
Capella finds Teague. To the middle, here's Collins, and finished off by Collins.
Teague's ability to find the open man makes him one of the better passing point guards in the league.
The pass to Antetokounmpo, and again the turnover by the Bucks. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Bucks. On Friday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then on Saturday, they'll head home to take on the Charlotte Hornets.
You know, some might look ahead at the schedule and start marking off how many wins they'll wind up with, but I think that's a trap. You can't take any nights off in the NBA, and you've got to stay in the moment.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
Antetokounmpo, and the dunk by Giannis.
I tell you, that's why Antetokounmpo is so feared league-wide. I mean, when he's close to the rim, he's most likely going to flush it on you.
Young dishes to Collins, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Zone defense, Clark, being played now by a lot of teams. It's amazing that even with that, the point totals just continue to rise.
And you know what? I attribute the point totals continuing to rise to a couple of things. One, the volume of three-point shots that are being taken. And I think teams are playing at a little faster pace universally. You don't see as much walking the ball up the floor as I think you may have seen in years past.
And so it's Young who brings it up for Atlanta. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And he banks in the layup. Young's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And when you get this kind of shooting from him, 100% from the field, they're going to be tough to beat.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one on Collins.
And you know, at almost 7 feet tall, Antetokounmpo is dangerous down inside, really. I mean, the defense has to be physical with him if they want to have a chance at preventing him from scoring in the paint.
Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo has really learned how to get himself to the foul line. It's one of the easiest ways to score the ball. He gets to the stripe at a higher clip with each passing year.
And Atlanta again with the bucket.
And he has his fingerprints all
over this first half. He is just shooting it so efficiently.
And it's Bledsoe off the drive. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
Strong and compactly built. I tell you, Bledsoe's tenacity overpowers some of his defenders.
Teague with the ball. He has 6. Inside, Collins. And finished off by Collins.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
And since coming to the Bucks, Eric Bledsoe hasn't been asked to do nearly as much as he has in the past.
And for Bledsoe, that is a good thing, as he is best as a complementary player. Not scoring as much, but his decision-making and shot selection have vastly improved.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
Yeah, I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish coming in.
Well, it really showed the trust they have in one another. I love how they got after it, and you could feel that they were playing for each other.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Korver comes in for Wesley Matthews. Then for the Hawks, Damian Jones comes in for Clint Capella, and it's Bembry in for Teague. And it's Giannis missing. Atlanta leading by 9. Here's Collins. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark.
And one thing I liked in the first quarter was their aggressiveness to draw the contact, putting the defense on the defensive.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they need to continue to press that advantage. They've got to get back to that. Don't go away from that. It's been working so well for them. Stay with it.
And that's the advantage of having a lead guard who can both pass and shoot. Young draws attention and takes advantage of a poor rotation defensively.
Shots good by Bledsoe.
And they are absolutely stroking it from beyond the arc.
Atlanta's gone 3 of 4 with the long-range bombs here in the second quarter. Young finds Collins. Young with the ball. Guarded by Korver. Young's shot is off. Bucks trail by 6. Back to Ilyasova. The feed to Antetokounmpo. Over Jones. And that's good from Antetokounmpo on the assist by Ilyasova.
Hey, you know, in the age of analytics, there's a ton of talk about player efficiency these days. And as we can see by Antetokounmpo's performance tonight, his efficiency, extraordinary.
Trae Young, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for Atlanta. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach, probably not the...
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. Trae Young was the story in the first quarter. He had 21 points and 1 assist. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got them.
And that'll...
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the court for Atlanta, Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Young and Herter make up the backcourt, and it's Capella in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
I love what Capella brings to the game. Tough, physical, strong, relentless. Got to respect what he does on these contact finishes.
Giannis no good. Atlanta leading by 9. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, when Trae Young was in college, he was known for his long-range shooting. But Young says, the people who know me best know that I'd rather get an assist than any other stat. I pride myself on making the right play. Knowing your teammates get joy and excitement from playing with you is all I care about. Kevin?
That's great to see. Thank you, D.A. Kicks it down to Middleton. Bledsoe for 3. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
You know, Bledsoe is a decent shooter from outside, but I think it's really important that he continues to connect from there.
And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That is his first foul of the game. Marvin Williams is checked in for Milwaukee. Hill comes in for Eric Bledsoe. And the Hawks making a change here as well. Lavissiere's checked in. Here's Herter. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game, and he makes that one.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now. They call him Red Velvet. Kevin Huerter, out of the University of Maryland, proved he can stripe it from day one.
Here's Hunter. Lopez with the block.
You could see Lopez tracking that shot the whole way. Nice awareness from him and a terrific rejection as well.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
A different look for Milwaukee. Lopez, he's checked in for Lopez. Pat Connaughton comes in for Chris Middleton. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Wesley Matthews. Sinks the triple. And Greg Herter, the 19th pick back in 2018. Sweet touch, and at 6'7". Good size at the shooting guard position.
And the Hawks general manager, Travis Schlenk, coming from the Warriors with Trae Young and Kevin Herter. The Hawks hoping they have a kind of Splash Brothers East.
Labissiere, the pass to Teague, and he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Teague's got 8 points.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
DiVincenzo passes to Lopez. That one goes in.
A legitimate threat to score from the mid-range. Lopez is skilled at cashing in from that area.
Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And that one drops. And that's now 28 points for Trae Young.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
If you can't stop it, here it comes. I'm right at you.
And the call will be against Robin Lopez. That's his first foul. A different look for Milwaukee. Ilyasova comes in for Robin Lopez. And it's Korver in for Pat Connaughton. Jones checked in for the Hawks. DeAndre Bembry comes in for Trae Young. Bembry kicks to Jones. Down low. Bembry misses.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
We've got 1:55 left in the third quarter. Teague. It's hauled in by Ilyasova. Bucks trail by 8. And the call will be against Jeff Teague. That is his first foul of the game. Mark, I want to take you back a bit here to 1982. What was going through your mind over your first few NBA games?
Well, Kevin, first of all, I was really excited and thankful to have a chance to realize a dream, but I was also a little bit nervous going up against some of the guys that I had watched. and idolized from afar. But once you're between those lines, it's not about idolizing guys. It's about trying to posterize them.
And any player in particular, one player that you looked out on the floor, and you were out there as well, saying, oh my goodness, look who I'm playing against tonight.
Well, when we first saw the Celtics and the Sixers, Larry Bird and those great teams in the 80s, Cedric Maxwell and Kevin McHale, and the Sixers, my rookie year, won it all. And they had Moses Malone, Dr. J, Bobby Jones, some of the greats in the game. So those two teams, and Dr. J and Larry Bird in particular.
Passes it to Bembry. Lets a floater go. Rebounded by the Bucks.
2 for 1, probably the way to go.
You can't just heave it, though. I mean, it's got to be a quality shot.
Basket good. And now just a 2-point Atlanta lead.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Pass to Fernando. He kicks to T. And that time, also a missed shot.
Man, I can't believe he blew that gimme, guys. Well, I know he's frustrated about that.
And the basket by Hill.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Teague left side. That's tipped.
Boy, the defensive chops of Ilyasova really coming into play here. I mean, quite surprising, actually impressive at how good he is at timing those shot blocks.
And so after 3 quarters of play and some great offensive output, this one is tied. And 4th quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Boy, that's a nice asset to have. It's a huge boost to any offense too, Greg. It adds a whole nother dimension when you've got a big guy that can pass.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. The backcourt comprised of Bledsoe and Matthews. Ilyasova at the 4 with Lopez at the 5. And it's Middleton in at the small forward position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks. Got that bucket in no time at all. And the Hawks lead by 2.
You love how each side has risen to the challenge throughout this one.
Hey, defense is taking a back burner, secondary on the marquee, but who doesn't love a game like this? Let's go. I like offense.
Just the kind of play they need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
And it just forces the defense to pay more attention to him, guys, which we know can open up things for others. Man, what a pass that was there. He really, really relishes making the game easier for his teammates.
Matthews dishes to Bledsoe. And it's off the back rim, no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Milwaukee gets called for the foul. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Hawks.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Scal Labissières checked in for Damian Jones. And Trae Young subbed in for Teague. Back to Bledsoe. And no good. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Following this game, they'll hit the road to challenge the Pacers at Pacers Arena in Indianapolis. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. There's the dish to Ilyasova. Over Collins. And Ilyasova kicks to Lopez. side, Matthews. Pass to Ilyasova. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. Shot's good by Middleton.
In perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
Here's Herter. He's covered by Matthews. Herter, no good. Bucks trail by 3. And it's Bledsoe off the drive. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
Tremendous explosion towards the rack. Bledsoe in attack mode, and I love it.
The pass to Labissiere. And Labissiere throws it down.
And surprisingly, a firm throwdown. And that's a little bit out of character, Kevin.
It is, Greg. You're right. He's got plenty of size to attack the basket, but rarely does.
Well, he certainly attacked it that time, Kevin. I mean, that's what they want to see more from him.
The defenders need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
And there's the foul. It goes on Wesley Matthews. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Antetokounmpo's checked in for the Bucks. Hunter's checked in for Atlanta. Young passes to Hunter. Now Capella. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Here's Collins, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
He's off on the second.
Not an A-plus trip to the line, but he did get them the lead.
To take the lead, trying to get open is Lopez. Down it goes. Nice one there from Antetokounmpo.
You know, feeling very comfortable taking a big shot when his team needs it. That's a sign of how Antetokounmpo has matured recently.
Passes it to Young. But they get it back. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. And it's 6 points for Clint Capella.
So good to see the role players stepping up in big moments. That's a big basket for Clint Capella.
Bledsoe finds Matthews. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Bledsoe's got 5 assists in the game.
And Matthews, Kevin, enjoys, relishes these big shots. When it's an important time in the game, he wants the ball.
Giannis against Young. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Collins trying to break free.
And Antetokounmpo's 7'3" wingspan, extraordinary. I mean, he's effective in rejecting shots, bothering shots, and stealing the ball.
Bledsoe kicks to Antetokounmpo. And Giannis throws it down.
And in addition to his great talent, Antetokounmpo has the reputation of being an outstanding leader as well. He's a clutch player who demands the ball in these situations. You love that.
Atlanta calls timeout. They're trailing by 4. 1:19 left here in the 4th quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
I was able to listen in on Lloyd Pierce talking with his team. He told them they have to pick it up. He said there's no time like the present, fellas. Embrace the moment, and let's take back this game. See what they can do, Kevin.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're leading by 2. 1:09 left to play in the final quarter. Bledsoe passes to Antetokounmpo. It's stolen by Capella. Here's Herter. Finished off the break. Herter's got it all tied up now for the Hawks.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses? Understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
Bledsoe against Young. Trying to get open is open. Count it!
There's no doubt about it. Eric Bledsoe has got the touch. He's feeling it.
Game could be on the line right here.
It's now or never.
Bledsoe against Young. It's in! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Cool, calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game? Yes.
Giannis right side. Stolen by Collins. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Kicks to Young. Six on the shot clock. Jacks up a three. Right between the eyes.
Ice in his veins. Young excels at stepping to the plate and delivering in the clutch.
Timeout called, the Bucks. They're down by 3. 1 second left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
And only one choice here. They need a 3. I'm sure he's going to sub in all of his best shooters. Under 2 seconds remaining. It has to be a catch and shoot 3 if they hope to tie it.
Korver for 3, and there's the triple. A big three-pointer, but we might have a review here. And they're going back to have a look at that shot once again to see if the horn had really sounded before the ball left his hand. This certainly isn't over yet. They may get a second chance. Now, if it's overturned, we're going to need overtime.
And the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing it up, and even before we look at the replay, I'm pretty sure he got that off in time.
Yeah, that's how it looked to me, and that's the call we should see here, but no harm in going back to the footage and making absolutely certain.
And regulation now complete. We will go to overtime, and we'll get going after this from Milwaukee. Well, 4 quarters weren't enough to decide this ballgame. Sit back and enjoy as we move on to overtime. So the Bucks win the tip. So the overtime period is now ticking away. Should be fun. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court right now for the Hawks. Herter the 2 with Hunter at the 3. John Collins is out there with Clint Capella, and it's Young in at the point guard.
Well, you know, the closer Capella is to the rim, the more effective he becomes, in my opinion, in part because of his size and nice touch.
Here's Hunter. Feeds to Young. Pass to Hunter. That's in, coming off the assist from Young. 6 points for DeAndre Hunter.
Well, we saw this from Hunter in the tournament. When Virginia won the championship, he was a clutch performer.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. The Bucks making a switch here. Korver's checked in. Here's Giannis. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Antetokounmpo's got 25 points.
That's why you got to push Giannis Antetokounmpo out of the paint. I mean, he's too long, too skilled, and very confident from this area. You got to get him out of there.
Here's Herter. Another 3 for Atlanta.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to, but let's be clear, he's not one of them. Terrible job there by the D.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And Antetokounmpo It's just fearless. I mean, hit him, knock him around. Really doesn't faze him. Doesn't matter. I mean, this guy is determined to get the job done, and he does.
Yeah, big play on the front end to finish, despite getting hacked there, and big on the back end to hit the free throw.
Young taking his time here, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
You know, you can't be overzealous inside when you guard Young. You got to be better at contesting without fouling.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Guys, that was critical. I mean, that's what we're used to seeing out of him, though, at moments like this.
Bledsoe kicks to Corver. Off target from 3-point range.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
In overtime here, a minute and a half off the clock. To the paint. Here's Antetokounmpo, and a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. And that's now 30 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Young against Bledsoe. And Young, here we go. And it's sent back by Bledsoe.
Boy, that was well done by Bledsoe there. Nice timing on that block.
And great hustle to turn that block shot into a fast break opportunity. Big time play on both ends.
Bledsoe against Young. Fires top of the key. Count it!
This is why people are just so high on Young, because he comes through with big shots in the game.
And Bledsoe, here we go. Middleton for 3. It drops. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Persistence pays for Middleton, commanding the ball and really demonstrating why his teammates trust him in these moments.
That one goes. Count it.
What a shot over the bigger defender. That could prove to be a massive bucket.
Greg does not get much tougher than that. Tough defense, high pressure situation, clutch play. I love it.
The 3 from Corver. Second chance shot. It falls.
That is the killer instinct of Eric Bledsoe. When the game is up for grabs, he seizes it by the feet.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure. It's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
That last free throw was critical. Their only choice now is to go for the 3 to tie.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're behind by 3. There's 14 seconds left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. Guys, what's your take?
And if you can get a 3, shoot it. Otherwise, get the quick 2 and a foul.
Either way, they got to score the ball.
The Bucks making a change here. And here's Middleton. Bledsoe outside to tie it up. Misses the tray. And an intentional foul right there. It's the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
And that's curtains for him. Some really good work at the charity stripe to close this one out.
And so the Hawks take the win. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
What a ride. I mean, I thought it might end in regulation, but you know what? They came through big and did exactly what was necessary once we got into OT.
And that'll do it, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony.